Have you ever noticed how strange success can be? You spend years chasing something, a dream, a promotion, a relationship, a number in your bank account. You tell yourself, when I finally get it, everything will change, everything will make sense, everything will feel complete. And then one day, you actually get it. The promotion arrives. The goal is achieved. The applause comes. The trophy sits on the shelf. For a moment, it feels incredible. You smile. You celebrate. You finally breathe. But then, something strange happens. The excitement fades. The celebration ends. And a familiar feeling quietly returns. A feeling you can't explain. A question you can't escape. Why do I still feel empty? Why doesn't this feel the way I imagined? Why does every victory lose its power so quickly? What if the emptiness isn't a flaw? What if it's a clue? What if you've spent years climbing a ladder, only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall? Today, we're going to uncover one of the deepest truths about the human soul, a truth discovered by kings, studied by psychologists, and spoken about by Jesus himself. And by the end of this video, you may finally understand why so many people get everything they wanted and still feel like something is missing. Most people live by a simple equation. If I get what I want, I'll finally be happy. As children, we think, when I get older, I'll be happy. Then it becomes, when I graduate, I'll be happy. Then, when I get the job, I'll be happy. Then, imagine a bucket. You pour water into it. Again, and again, and again. Yet somehow, it never stays full. Most people think the answer is simple. More water. So they pour faster. More success. More money. More recognition. More accomplishments. More achievements. But what if the problem was never the amount being poured in? What if there's a leak nobody notices? Many people aren't suffering from a lack of success. They're suffering from a lack of meaning. And no amount of achievement can permanently fill a life that lacks purpose. Think about the last thing you desperately wanted. Maybe it took months. Maybe years. You imagine how amazing life would feel once you finally got it. Then it happened. And for a few days, maybe a few weeks, you felt incredible. But eventually, the excitement faded. The new became normal. The extraordinary became ordinary. And suddenly you found yourself searching for the next thing. Psychologists have studied this for decades. The human mind adapts. No matter how exciting the achievement is, eventually it becomes familiar. And familiar things lose their emotional power. That is why temporary victories create temporary feelings. But the soul is searching for something deeper. Long before psychology studied happiness, there was a king named Solomon. If anyone should have been fulfilled, it was him. He had wealth, power, influence, knowledge, luxury, everything people spend their entire lives chasing. Yet after experiencing everything the world could offer, he discovered something most people never realize. Achievement can change your circumstances, but it cannot heal your soul. The scenery can change. The title can change. The bank account can change. But if the emptiness is inside, success simply carries that emptiness to a new location. Imagine climbing the tallest mountain on earth, only to discover you brought your struggles with you. The view changed, but you didn't. And that leads to an important question. If success can't satisfy the soul, what can? Most people ask, what do I need to get next? But maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the better question is, what am I really searching for? Because beneath every goal is a deeper desire. Money often represents security. Recognition often represents significance. Success often represents worth. Achievement often represents acceptance. We're rarely chasing the thing itself. We're chasing the feeling we believe it will give us. But feelings fade. The soul doesn't. Imagine chasing your own shadow. The faster you run, the further it seems to move. The harder you chase, the more frustrated you become. Happiness works the same way. People who spend their entire lives chasing happiness often end up exhausted. Because happiness was never meant to be the destination. It was meant to be the result. The byproduct. Something that follows when your life is connected to something deeper. Picture a beautiful house. Fresh paint. Expensive furniture. Perfect decorations. Everything looks amazing. But nobody lives inside. From the outside, it looks complete. From the inside, it's empty. Many lives look exactly like that. Successful on the outside. Restless on the inside. Accomplished on the outside. Lost on the inside. Busy on the outside. empty on the inside. And that leads to an important question. If success can't satisfy the soul, what can? Most people ask, what do I need to get next? But maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe the better question is, what am I really searching for? Because beneath every goal is a deeper desire. Money often represents security. Recognition often represents significance. Success often represents worth. Achievement often represents acceptance. We're rarely chasing the thing itself. We're chasing the feeling we believe it will give us. But feelings fade. The soul doesn't. Imagine chasing your own shadow. The faster you run, the further it seems to move. The harder you chase, the more frustrated you become. Happiness works the same way. People who spend their entire lives chasing happiness often end up exhausted. Because happiness was never meant to be the destination. It was meant to be the result. The byproduct. Something that follows when your life is connected to something deeper. Picture a beautiful house. Fresh paint. Expensive furniture. Perfect decorations. Everything looks amazing. But nobody lives inside. From the outside, it looks complete. From the inside, it's empty. Many lives look exactly like that. Successful on the outside. Restless on the inside. Accomplished on the outside. Lost on the inside. Busy on the outside. Empty on the inside. Because appearance and fulfillment are not the same thing. And this is where Jesus offered something different. He didn't promise unlimited success. He didn't promise an easy life. He didn't promise constant comfort. He offered something deeper. Life. Not temporary excitement. Not endless achievement. Life. The kind that reaches the deepest places inside a person. The places money cannot touch. The places success cannot heal. The places applause cannot satisfy. Because according to Jesus, the deepest hunger inside the human heart is not a hunger for achievement. It's a hunger for connection. Connection to purpose. Connection to truth. Connection to God. And when that connection is missing, people often spend years trying to fill a spiritual need with material success. But the hunger remains. How do you know if you're doing this? Look for 3 signs. First, nothing feels like enough. No matter what you achieve, satisfaction disappears quickly. Second, rest feels uncomfortable. You always need another goal to feel valuable. Third, your worth depends on performance. When you win, you feel important. When you fail, you feel worthless. These aren't signs that you're broken. They're signs that you're searching in the wrong place. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop asking, what can I achieve next? Start asking, who am I becoming? Because fulfillment isn't found at the finish line. It's found in the foundation you're building your life upon. The world teaches, achieve first. Then you'll have peace. But real peace often works the other way around. Peace comes first. And from that peace flows healthy achievement. One path creates pressure. The other creates stability. Maybe the reason you still feel empty isn't because you haven't achieved enough. Maybe it's because you've been expecting success to do something it was never designed to do. Success is useful, but it isn't a savior. Money is useful, but it isn't a savior. Recognition feels good, but it isn't a savior. The deepest hunger of the human soul requires something deeper than temporary victories. So the next time you reach a goal, celebrate it. Be grateful for it. Enjoy it. But don't ask it to become your identity. Don't ask it to become your purpose. And don't ask it to heal a place it was never designed to heal. Because a trophy can decorate a shelf. A paycheck can improve your lifestyle. A promotion can change your position. But none of those things can permanently satisfy the deepest parts of your soul. That kind of fulfillment comes from knowing who you are, why you're here, and who you're ultimately living for. When those things become clear, success becomes a blessing, not a burden. And winning no longer leaves you empty. If this message spoke to you today, go down to the comments and write. Fulfillment is deeper than success. And if you know someone who's been chasing goals but still feels empty, share this video with them. Subscribe for more life-changing insights, biblical wisdom, and powerful truths that help you build a life of real purpose. And I'll see you in the next video.